And good morning. Welcome to Focus on Stafford County here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. The talk of the town, our once-a-month visit with Ryan Russell, Stafford County Economic Development Director. We're all discombobulated this month. Let's see. Okay, we're a week later, but that worked out good for both of us. And then yesterday we had a Royals game on, but today, bright and early here in studio. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about those Royals? They're playing pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice to be relevant as we move into June. How about that? That's pretty cool. Yep. Okay, what news do we bring from the South today? Again, a pretty good roster of topics here, and we'll talk about houses to begin with, Ryan.
Yeah, so just to recap that, we got a funding for middle-income housing from Kansas Housing Resources Corporation with the state of Kansas. So we got grants from the state, and then we have funding from the different cities, Stafford and St. John, as well as the county commissioners put money in. And then we have a loan with SJN Bank of Kansas, which gave us a very preferred rate, a lower rate than what is out there. Mm-hmm. So we are thankful for them. So we're building 9 houses, 5 in St. John, 4 in Stafford. The first 2 houses are very close to completion, and so we're going to be selling those houses. They'll be around $190,000 each. They're 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If you want to take a look at them, the one in Stafford is at 303 West Morrell Street, and it looks really nice. We've got lots of compliments already about the way they look. And then the other one is at 413 West 2nd Street in St. John. So we're getting close on those 2, and then we're starting to build the next 2 in St. John. Going to be pouring the concrete soon, and very excited about that. So
are they directly going through Stafford County EcoDevo then?
Yeah, we're managing. Okay. We're managing the.
So if someone wants to take a look or take.
Yep.
They contact you.
Yeah, if they want to contact EcoDevo.
Okay.
Myself, I can. I'll probably. At some point, we'll have kind of like an open house kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But if they want to take a look at it, I'm happy to show it to them right now. If you want to put a bid in, that's fine. You can do that as well. And the house should be complete within the next 4 to 6 weeks. They're doing cabinets last, and that's the kind of last thing to go in.
So these are the first 2 of 9.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and the next couple we'll have actually attached garages, and then a couple of them will actually have full basements or unfinished basements. Sorry.
Okay, so what contractor are you working with on this, or is it going to be different for each particular location?
Yeah. So our overall general contractor is Housing Opportunities Incorporated. They're here out of Great Bend.
Sure. Okay.
So they're our general contractor, and then we worked with them to do the bids in the county, and all of the I would say 87%, 88% of the contract went to local contractors. So that's Loya Construction, that's Stafford Lumber, Meyer Electric, Mansell Construction.
Wow.
So all those guys they all have pieces of the pie. Hope I didn't forget anybody.
Okay.
But they're all doing a really great job. We're very happy with the work that they're doing, and they've been working with us really well on the project.
So this timeline of 9 houses, how long will this extend out until we get number 9 completed, do you think?
It's an 18 to 24-month project. As fast as they're going now, I think we'll probably be a little early. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But our goal is to kind of do the first 4 houses, kind of get them sold and move on to the next 5. So we really like to sell these houses pretty quickly. So if there are people out there that want to buy them, I might be a little bit flexible on the first few price-wise. But yeah, we'd be happy to talk to people about buying them.
So in about 24 months, 9 new houses are going to be built in Stafford County. What's that total been for the last few years? I mean,
I think the last project we did started in 2021.
Okay.
And that one was a 10-house project.
Okay.
And
other than that, with Stafford EcoDevo, there's probably have been a lot of home construction in Stafford County.
There's been a few individual homes. People have done their own homes, built their own homes. But yeah, not really in the towns per se.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a few here and there. But like in terms of larger projects, there's not been any really.
Okay, what are the addresses again of the two that are nearing completion or completed?
In Stafford, 303 West Morel.
Okay.
And in St. John, it's 413 West 2nd in St. John.
How'd this all come together as far as finding the location and where these houses were going to be and available land and things like that? Or is that's a long path, but
well, the cities have land banks.
Okay, sure.
And so they have lots in their land banks that they offered to us. So they give us a lot for free, and then we build on it.
Wow.
So,
pretty exciting things.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay, childcare. Big things going on in Stafford and Maxville. Why don't you give us the latest on those, Ryan?
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Stafford. They're doing a really great job. It's their project. They're doing it. They got a HEAL grant for a building downtown. They're going to renovate the top floor, which is going to be 2 apartments. The bottom floor is going to be childcare. We're trying to help them find additional money. The commissioners just approved $55,000. I didn't do that. That's actually Jim Stanford, commissioner for Stafford. He pushed that with the commissioners, so they got additional funding for that building. And then there is some grants coming up in the next month that we're going to be applying for that project, and hopefully we can get that finished up. Hopefully by the end of the year. Depends on Stafford's timeline, of course.
Sure.
They've got a lot of projects in the pipeline, but we're working closely with them, trying to find funding for that. There's a grant coming out into this next month that we're going to apply for. So we should have some additional funding for them within the next couple of months to help them kind of get it to the finish line. So
okay, what's going on in Maxville?
In Maxville, we're looking at 2 options. One's a refurbishment, and the other one would be a new build. And we had a couple donate a property in downtown that they have pledged the property. I don't want to say that they've donated it yet. Okay. It's pledged. It's for the purpose of building on. And we're starting the process now to develop the project and get the funding sorted. I've had calls this morning, and I have a few more calls in the next couple of days to kind of line out kind of the plan to move forward with developing that, to get the funding and all that stuff. And so it's moving forward. People are always like, oh, it takes forever. And I agree. It does. It takes a really long time to kind of put these together because we have to pool different resources from different places. And we have to talk to different funders and find out what's available. And oftentimes each funder doesn't pay for the whole project. We have to find pieces of the project from different funders. And so we're working that. But I'm hopeful that within the next year, we'll have childcare solutions for both cities. So I'm pretty confident.
That's exciting. And, of course, you've been addressing that in St. John already.
Yeah, we have 2 spaces in St. John that are full, and they're full. They don't have any slots open. So as of right now.
Yeah.
That I know of. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Russell with us, Stafford County Economic Development Director, in studio today. We'll have more of the program coming up right after this. Focus on Stafford County continues here on this Friday morning. Ryan Russell in with us talking about homes for sale in St. John and Stafford and the child care project updates in Stafford and Maxville. Very exciting right now. So, all right, let's go back to Stafford here. Historical preservation and repurposing of buildings in the Stafford community. Give me the latest.
So we just applied for a grant to do a historical district survey for a historical district in Stafford. So, sorry about that. So we're working on maybe creating a historical district in Stafford, downtown Stafford, and we have kind of a unique opportunity right now. The city owns like 5 buildings downtown, and the Historical Society, which is the Stafford County Museum, they also own 5 buildings downtown, and so I was able to discuss with them and kind of come to a plan that we're going to do a historical district together, and which will open up opportunities, funding opportunities. And so I just went to the Historical Preservation Conference 2 weeks ago, and just learn about new funding opportunities, kind of some kind of things they're looking for, that sort of thing. And I'm excited because this will open up a whole nother arm of funding for us for Stafford, but also St. John. St. John, they've also asked for a historical district. And I know that a lot of people that own buildings that kind of get scared when you talk about doing historical preservation because that limits them to what they can do to the building. But the state's actually really revised a lot of their rules to where a lot of the decisions are made on the local level. And so there's less fear. Most of it's just outside of the building. Mm-hmm. And then inside they have to make decisions based on what's practical. But yeah, preserving historical buildings. And then a lot of the buildings are able to then be repurposed for commercial use. And so we've talked to the Historical Society in Stafford and said, hey, some of your buildings, you may be able to consolidate some of the stuff you're doing and have some of the buildings or part of some of the buildings available for commercial use. Then you can also make money from those and then rent them out and create revenue for the museum. And you know, that'll be good for them as well as the economics of the community.
Okay, so but is that a change where you can go commercial on some of those, or has that always been there? Maybe a little bit less restrictive now.
I think they're making it easier, and they're also I think they're going, okay, we got to be practical about this. These buildings, we want to save them, but we don't want them. I think there's a lot of pushback with like, you save a historical building and then it becomes something people can look at.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of that? And there is some benefit to that, but if you end up taking all these buildings that are like 50 plus years old away from the tax, adding tax to the funding for the city and the county, then the county and city start losing money because you're taking buildings out of the tax. So it's, creating a situation where you can repurpose these buildings, still preserve the historical nature of the building, but have it repurposed to do other things as well.
In St. John, is it in the downtown area as well?
We don't have a historic district in St. John yet, but
what are the steps?
We started discussing it, and I'm starting to dig deep into this now, into like certified local governments, and if you're a certified local government, you have also benefits. So I'm looking into that right now, how we can become a certified local government and different aspects of that. And there's our square area in St. John is really beautiful. Mm-hmm. A lot of really cool buildings. The south side of square has already still like 4 buildings or so that still have the upstairs second floor areas. Mm-hmm. Their historical preservation is starting to push developing the downtown's second floors into apartments again. A lot of these buildings in a lot of these small towns, the second floors are just not being used anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
Because traditionally, when they built it, they were like, I'll live above it and I'll work below it. And that was kind of like the idea, or having an office upstairs or something like that. So most of these buildings don't even have any usage of the upstairs. And so since, you have a limited amount of buildings, limited space, why not repurpose some of these buildings to be like apartments in the downtown area? And so that also brings people to the downtown area because they live there. Then they can shop downtown. And so you kind of rejuvenate your downtown area to be able to have people in it, parking and living and using services downtown, that sort of thing. So there's some cool things the state's doing that are making money available for different things. And I'm hopefully kind of trying to push toward that, where we can get some of those dollars as well as repurpose some of these spaces and work with the different organizations in our communities to kind of help revitalize some of these downtown areas. So we also have the Main Street program, the state Main Street program. Scott, who's the head of that, he's going to be coming to our community on June 11th. And I'm going to have kind of a county meeting and bring people together to potentially, I'm hoping they'll let us do this, have like a county-wide Main Street program where we can start taking advantage of the Main Street program aspects to like do some of these revitalization things with that as well.
Okay, this has been going big all over the country. It has been in Great Bend. Looks like pickleball coming to Stafford County as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I had been talking to the St. John Pickleball Club, and they, if anyone knows, most people know them, Susan Lewis and Joyce Miller. They came in and like help us with this, and the city had already committed a little bit of money, about $10,000, and then the rec commission had committed $25,000. But to do the project was $60,000. So you have $35,000 to start with, but you need another lump sum or whatever. So they really help us figure out how to get there. So I wrote a few grants, and somebody had pointed out, that there's an AARP grant. It's this nationwide grant that's available. I'm like, that's kind of a long shot. They're usually really competitive, really hard to usually do those and get success. But I was like, I'll try anyway. We won it, actually. We won the grant.
Really?
Yeah, we did. So it's $19,000. So it's enough money to build the pickleball courts with the other money that's already there. And then we got another grant from Golden Belt Community Foundation for equipment. And so we have enough money to do the whole project. So we'll be starting in June, starting to build pickleball courts on an old tennis court in St. John near the park. And there will be three pickleball courts there that will be available for people to use outside, usually probably in the warmer seasons. But it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have that. And they're all very happy. We're moving forward with it. And
so what are some of that money used for? Is resurfacing or just? Yeah,
they have to, the court is in really bad shape, so they have to take it all out. So they have to take it out.
But you got your base and everything.
We're going to do asphalt.
Okay.
And then you have to resurface that to make it pickleball-y, I guess, or whatever they do with that. And then we've got funding for obviously the standards. They call them standards, I guess. Standard fence.
Okay.
I just learned that this week.
Okay.
They call them standards.
What? You wrote the grant.
I called it a pole in the ground with
the net.
a net, So I was like, they kept saying standard. I was like, what is that? What are you talking about? And they're like, oh, you're not a pickleballer. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I wrote the grant and I put in the grant thing, a description of it, but I didn't know what the name of it was.
And that came from AARP.
Yeah. AARP does a yearly grant, and so we got it, and we're moving forward with it. So
pickleball.
Yep.
And it's going to be and from downtown, where's that at?
It's by Brown Park.
Okay.
It's near the track.
Okay.
So there's.
Oh, sure. All right.
Yeah. So it's not far from the park. It's like there's a dirt road obviously around the whole thing.
Right. Okay. All right. Ryan Russell with us, Stafford County Economic Development here on Focus on Stafford County. We'll have more coming up right after this. A few more minutes here today with Ryan Russell, Stafford County Economic Development with us. Okay, coming up June 13th, Farmers Market. What's going on here, Ryan?
Yeah, we just put in a gazebo in St. John, so everybody hopefully has seen that if they've been in St. John. Very beautiful in the northwest corner. We did a dedication the Friday of the Jubilee last week. And then we're planning to put the farmers market around that area in the northwest corner. We've just got a grant from Golden Belt Community Foundation, a small grant for some tents and tables for the farmers market people. So we'll be purchasing some of that, and then I'm trying to line up, food truck and maybe some music for the first week to kind of pump up the farmers market. So stay tuned, and next week I'll probably start promoting that.
Okay.
And June 13th will be the first farmers market. We do it on Thursdays from 4 to 7-ish. And so come on down, get some veggies, some fruit, some jams, some jellies, whatever else we got down there. Enjoy yourself in the park. It's beautiful. try out the gazebo.
How'd that gazebo work with Jubilee?
Oh, it was really great. People really liked it. It was used a lot. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's got a great view. The benches are on the north side inside the gazebo, so you can sit there and you can see across the whole square. It's really nice. Yeah, it's great. It's great. People were using it.
Okay, Ryan Russell with us here. Any other updates you want to let us know about today on what's going on in Stafford County?
Yeah, we're continuing to work on the commercial kitchen. We are going to hear about a grant from the Kansas Department of Agriculture probably in a week or two about some food processing machinery for the kitchen. We just got some funding from Equity Bank for the commercial kitchen, $1,000 for programming for the commercial kitchen for small businesses. So I'll be working on that. And then we got some money from them also to do an outdoor projector. So we can do like movies in the park, different things in the park. So we're working on different things, trying to figure out how we can create more events in the communities. And yeah, and I'm also looking for staff. So if anybody's interested, we've got it's on our Facebook page and also on Indeed. You can see the description. We're looking for an administrative office administrator, full-time position.
Okay.
Good pay, good benefits. So I've got a few candidates, but I'd love to see more people apply.
How many grants are you writing a month right now?
Well, I've kind of gone the middle road, which is do like a lot of smaller ones and then some medium-sized ones, because we already have the big housing project and that takes a lot of work in terms of management and reporting. So,
well, your batting average looks pretty good.
I've been trying to write like 2 or 3 a month. The smaller ones, like there's ones that are like 3,000 or 1,000, like the Midwest Energy one, which is 1,000, and the Global Mountain Community Foundation one, which is a 3,000. I try to write for those because they don't take long to write, like 2-3 hours maybe. I try to do 3 or 4 of those for different things, and then you usually 50-50. So like maybe they'll give you half of them that you write. So
how do you find out about those?
Well, they announce them on their pages.
Okay.
I kind of have a list of organizations that are kind of the usual suspects for funding, and then we call them. They do announcements. We follow their pages on our social media to see like when they're announcing things, and then when you want to do a grant, usually you want to go to the webinar that they have to kind of explain the grant. Most of them do that. The smaller ones, they probably won't, but the bigger ones, they'll do a webinar. And then if you have additional questions, they like it when you ask questions. They want you to call them, email them, ask questions, so that you can apply properly. And the biggest thing about grant writing is follow directions. It's like the thing you learn in kindergarten. Just whatever they tell you to do,
Don't
do
deviate.
Do not deviate from the plan. So, and that's really important. Just follow directions, meet the time deadline, and you'll get it rejected immediately if you don't follow directions.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. There you go. Tips on grant writing and an update on Stafford County. Ryan, thanks.
Yep.
Ryan Russell with us, Stafford County Economic Development Director, here this morning on Focus on Stafford County. News coming up next, then Hesh and Trading Post, or I should say Becca and Trading Post. How about that? A new voice coming to the program this morning here on KVGB.